This is a video for anybody who wants to move from being angry at low quality women behavior to disgusted.
I don't know if it's fair to call some guys creeps because you can't blame a guy for trying. And girls can turn around and be like, "Oh my god, this guy's a creep. He wants to come up and talk to me." Because if he was fit, would he still be a creep? No, it's just because you don't find him attractive. It's like
interesting.
It's a bit weird. As in, it's easier to be mean and kind of label someone just because you don't find them attractive. But then on the shoes on the other foot, like you wouldn't dare go up. Like it takes a lot of guts and bravery to go up to approach someone, even if you feel like they're out of your league.
There's this woman at a bar talking to a man, and she's being very flirtatious. And thinking that he has a chance with her, he offers to buy her a drink. After she gets the drink, she walks away from the man and goes and joins her friend. The guy who bought the drink is left standing there looking confused and upset. When the woman rejoins her friend, the two of them start laughing about how much of a loser that guy was for buying her a drink. They start laughing about how easy it is to get men to do things for them and how disgusting men are for thinking that they can buy a woman's affection. Now, overhearing this are two men who watch the entire thing go down, and each of them is having a very different reaction. One of them feels intense anger, and the other one feels intense disgust. And what a world of difference there is between these two. This is not semantics. They reveal a very different worldview. Let's first look at what the two men have in common. They both agree that the woman's behavior was disgraceful and that it's a horrible reflection on our current society that this kind of casual female-to-male sexism is just laughed away or tolerated. In that, both of them are in total agreement, but now they begin to deviate. The man who feels disgusted feels a little bit depressed, and he reminds himself to avoid women like that, but otherwise he gives it no more thought and just returns to his evening. That woman was horrible, society's messed up, and the whole thing was pretty disgusting, but it doesn't really affect him. He has high standards for the women that he dates, and he would never tolerate being around a woman like that. And so the situation for him is not personal, and he's able to let it go. The man who's angry can't let it go because for him, it's personal, and that's the difference. The guy who's angry wants to date women who are high quality, who treat him with kindness and respect, but unfortunately, the only women that he's coming across are women who act like this woman did. Perhaps he's even reached the point where he doesn't think that women who don't act like this actually exist because his personal life has provided no contradictory evidence. So psychologically, we understand that behind the anger is a fear that the desire that he has is not going to be able to be realized. He wants to date high quality women, but women are instead acting like this. They are preventing him from realizing his desire. To put it more plainly, what his anger shows is that he doesn't feel like he has control. He feels like he is at the whim of these kinds of women, like his fate is tied to them. And so when they act like this, it makes him angry. From where he is, that is not an entirely irrational response because anger is a powerful tool for motivation. Anger is not passive, it's active. Like when you see an injustice, anger swells up within you and it causes you to take action to correct that injustice. That's a good thing. So at a personal level, anger helps you assert control over your life. Like if somebody is insulting you, your angry response is going to cause you to defend yourself. Anger is what gives you strength to take control of that situation and to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But when you're witnessing something as a third party, circumstances that don't really affect you, then anger isn't actually taking control of the situation. It feels like it is. You get that rush of adrenaline and emotion and it feels like you can take action. You get all worked up. But actually, nothing's going to occur. Anger in that situation is more like play acting. So in order to truly take control, it doesn't require just an angry response. It requires actually working to improve the circumstances of your life so that the actions of low-quality women have no bearing over your personal circumstances. You've probably heard the saying that the best way to not be jealous of another person's success is to be successful yourself. If you're single, alone, and depressed, and you see some guy with a beautiful girl who obviously loves him, they obviously have a great relationship, naturally, you're going to feel a little bit jealous. But if you have an amazing relationship yourself, then you're not going to feel jealous. You know, why would you? Your life is amazing. Your partner is great. You see another person's success and you think, wow, good for him. That's fantastic. Now, a variation of this is that in order to not be bothered by injustice, you have to create justice for yourself. When you desire to date a high quality woman and you see low quality women acting disgracefully, it can feel as though they are preventing you from getting what you want, but they're not. Even if 95% of the female population are low quality, just undateable, that doesn't mean that misery has to be your fate. Remember, it only takes just one high quality woman to be your partner and to give you a lifetime of happiness and satisfaction. You don't need to suffer the injustice of being a statistic. You can go out and find your own justice and create the life that you want. And once you find that girl, that high quality woman that you're happy with in your relationship, you're not going to care what all the low quality women in the world are doing. You'll be too happy, too satisfied in your own life that you're not going to want to leave your place of inner peace. It's not going to be worth it to get angry and upset over the actions of people who have nothing to do with your personal life. And so now, speaking directly to any men out there who are bored of feeling angry when they see low quality women behaviors, you don't want to feel that way anymore. I encourage you to move beyond anger and into disgust. Take steps today to change your circumstances so that it's no longer personal. Remove these women's power over you. Does anybody really want their emotional well-being to be held hostage by low-quality women? It is more masculine to exist on a higher plane so that low-quality women and low-quality behaviors, they don't even affect you. They don't even reach you. This is not about ignoring what you see or making excuses for terrible female behavior. It's about changing your life so that it's no longer relevant for your personal circumstances. It doesn't make you angry anymore. It's just disgusting. What is the purpose of an event that marks the transition from boyhood to manhood, and how can we recreate that in the modern day? That's the topic of my latest video. In this video, I explain the manner and purpose of ancient ritual rites practiced by native tribes and how a boy's initiation is radically different to a woman's initiation. I talk about the negative effects that we can see in our society when we lack this kind of male initiation process. I explain why some of the well-meaning attempts by groups to set up these kind of initiation processes are ultimately failing because they're making the processes too feminine. And lastly, I give advice to fathers on how to create the conditions for your son to mark his transition into manhood. If you're curious about what kind of actions can mark the event from boy to man, then I highly recommend you check out this video. For every video that I post here on YouTube, I post an additional bonus video on my Patreon page. That means that at the moment, you're only seeing half of the total content that I create. If you want access to the other half, then it's just a $5 a month subscription. It's available on Patreon. It's a fantastic way to support the channel, and I would love to see you over there.